Okay, so now for the final step, we are going to get in the buildings in the background, a bit of the details on the buildings too. I'm going to work on these nice little reflections. So firstly, we need to make some color for the buildings in the back. I'm going to change it up and just use some neutral tint and a bit of purple in there to create a kind of a cooler color, cooler gray color. Okay, a bit of black in there, a bit of blue, kind of like a cooler gray. Okay, and you notice it's probably about 50% paint, 50% water. Okay, I'm going to drop this in. Let's just see how we go. Oops, some of it's gone into the sky, but it'll be okay. And I like to also use smaller brushes at the same time if there's little details that I might have to indicate like this. Okay, and try to leave in, as you can see, I've been trying to leave in a little bit of that yellow on the back of some of the areas of the buildings. Okay, but I'm also just trying my best to make sure I do this with as few brushstrokes as possible. Um, okay, just a large silhouette of the building. And you can see here also there's little bits of the windows and things which are covering parts of the building. So I'm indicating bits and pieces of that, and you can see here on that right hand side as well. I'm doing the same thing. Uh, Tiny bit of darkness and line work for that building there, as you can see. Look at that. Drag that down, and these little bits of the windows that I'm doing here, so subtle. Um, so subtle there. Just drag that down. You know, the main thing for me is just creating this kind of darker silhouette in the background. And as we move into the further back as well into the distance, it just becomes more lighter. Okay, so I've just started to blend that together a bit more like that. Okay, so we've got a bit of a lighter gray there all in the distance like that. Yep. Yeah. You got a few more of these little windows and things uh, over on that right hand side. Um, that that a little bit more darkness I find behind the figures might help. Okay, that okay. So this sort of dark area behind the cars. Just cutting around them. This. That. You're blending together at times a bit of this wet and wet work and a bit of the dry brush work. Okay, I'm just adding in like I don't know a bit of softer, watery shape of a shadow here or something. Okay, I can redo some of those window areas later, but I just wanted to have something like this here. Um, just soften off a bit of that part of the building. It was looking just too light there. Okay, remember this is all one big shape that I'm trying to paint. This big sort of area in the background. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's just a little bit darker at the base. And then here we've got the building to the right hand side. Just get that in. If I can get it in just a quick little brush stroke like that, that should do the trick. And we've got this one here as well. So simplify it down. I'm making this one darker as well so that it brings it forwards. Okay. Let's have a look. Bring it down more like that. There's little bits touching the ground. If I can just get it to bleed in a bit to this area, that's nice. Yep, just like that. Just that background areas that just wanted it to blend in better. Yeah, just again getting in some more of these like sideward areas of the building, bit of the dimensionality of the building. Okay, if I can get it in with a few little bits and pieces like this, it makes things so much easier. Okay, yep, bit more blue, purple. Okay, good. Large, just a large sort of shape here to the left. All it is just part of this building shape coming down. Okay, good. All right, so we've got the buildings off in the background, general silhouette of those buildings in. I want to bring some of this down to the foreground to get the shadows and the figures. And so I'm going to just respray this bottom part of the scene with some water. Okay. And from here, I'm going to grab myself again this mop brush, and I'm going to pick up some darker paint, just purple and a bit of neutral tint again, and we'll just experiment. I'm going to drop in the legs of this figure like that. Really thick paint, very, very thick paint. Okay, and look at that. Got this kind of coming down and a bit of this reflection here. There. Okay, and a bit of the reflection there. This one here, downwards like that. Okay, these ones here, that. And if you find that it's not sort of spreading enough, just give it a bit of a spray again. Okay, and it should dissipate, move downwards a little bit down the page. Okay. Just exaggerate that a bit more. That. And they come up into the legs. Got to just make sure I've got the legs in darker, like that. Right. Oops. There we go. And some darker ones there, the legs. Okay. This is a little flat brush that I'm using. It's helping to just get in that general shape of the reflections. And you've got also these like other reflections off the buildings, as you can see. Look at that, just this kind of darker reflections from the building up the top. So having some of those in as well is I think it's quite crucial. That soften, and having some sharp bits in there is important too, guys. So don't get rid of all these sharp details. Of course, you've got this kind of reflection of this building up the top. So I'm gonna like just get a bit of that color in there. Shift this around kind of here. Okay. There we are. This larger building here to the right.